Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Anaya, and I'm going to tell you a bit about the mental health counseling profession today. I am a senior at the University of South Florida. I'm going to graduate in spring of 2019 with a bachelor's in health sciences and a concentration in biological health and social and behavioral health. And after that, I plan on pursuing a career as a mental health counselor. A counselor's job is to form a relationship with the patient where they promote and encourage optimum well-being, as well as diagnosing and treating medical disorders. This consists of direct psychotherapy sessions with patients where you are helping the patient get through difficult circumstances in their lives. Aaron Norton talks a lot about this in his video, as well as the difference in duties between the different types of counselors, because there are many. Counselors generally do their work solo, one-on-one with the patient, but they may also have to work closely with teachers, case managers, and psychiatrists, maybe even the government or military, depending on where it is you're working, which brings me into work settings, and these are provided by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And typical work settings include hospitals, clinics, prisons, schools, and private practices. Now, the requirements of education for counseling can be a little messy. A lot of places tell you to start with a bachelor's in counseling. And while this is good, you cannot become licensed as a counselor with just a bachelor's. The most you're qualified to do is a variety of human resource jobs, a psychiatric technician, mental technician, or a social work technician. To really get going on that license, you need to have at least a master's in counseling, which requires 60 credit hours, including classes like advanced clinical skills, family and couples counseling, addiction and substance abuse counseling, human sexuality counseling, trauma counseling, clinical counseling for special populations. Now, after your master's, you're required to do a 2-year internship. The FloridaHealthProfessions.gov has a whole page on this, and it requires at least 100 hours in no less than 100 weeks, 1,500 hours face-to-face psychotherapy with clients, and 1 hour of supervision every 2 weeks. Now on NBCC.org, which is the National Certification for Counseling, there's a lot of information on their exam, which you take after your internship. And once you have taken the NCMHCE and pass, you will be qualified as a licensed mental health counselor. Now, if you want to continue your learning, there's quite a few different options, some of which are required. To start, you can get a doctorate in psychological counseling. Now, the article Master's versus PhD goes very in depth on the two of these. However, to get your doctorates, you are required to do 4 years of clinical classes and a 5th year of internship that ends with a dissertation. Now, the biggest difference between someone with a master's and a doctorate is that the doctor is going to be dealing a lot more with research and theory. In addition to that, they're going to be dealing with very serious mental illnesses, ones that most counselors with a master's would not typically see on a day-to-day basis. Now, there's this great organization called the AMHCA, which is the American Mental Health Counseling Association. This is great if you're going to be or already are a licensed mental health counselor. On this website, they have all of the latest literature and journals on counseling and related fields and laws, as well as access to connections, job opportunities, and conferences. Now, from the article License Permits and Certificates, it states that to maintain your license every 2 years, you must complete 36 hours of coursework, and the biggest chunk of this is law and ethics, because our laws are always changing, so you have to make sure you're always aware of the newest policies, where you stand with your patient, what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot share. So this is a very important thing to stay up to date on. Lastly, with all the information I've researched and presented to you today, I was able to make myself a small 5-year plan on how to achieve my goal of becoming a licensed mental health counselor. And it begins in spring 2019, where January I will begin volunteer work. And throughout the rest of the year, I'm going to use that to kind of feel out different work settings and maybe any specialties I might want to pursue. But in May, I'm going to graduate with a bachelor's degree in health science. In 2020, January, I anticipate beginning a master's program, so I'll likely apply the summer before. I may also get a new job around this time, more in line with my end goal. 2021, summer, I will begin applying to counseling internships, and then that winter of 2021, I will graduate from my master's program. In spring of 2022, I will begin a counseling internship, and then around summer 2023, I will apply for a licensing exam, and then I will conclude my internship and be able to find a job as a licensed mental health counselor.